was recently diagnosed with endometriosis.
I have systemic lupus and scleroderma.
I have chronic pain, chronic fatigue, I get depressed.
I was diagnosed with Crohn's 2 years ago.
I have PCOS and genetic hepatitis. PCOS stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome.
I am currently diagnosed with hemiplegic migraines. I also have hypothyroidism issues with my adrenals and arthritis, chronic pain.
I have type 1 Chiari malformation.
I have chronic fatigue syndrome. I have 2 chronic illnesses. One is endometriosis and the other one is fibromyalgia.
I had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
I was diagnosed at 9 with Crohn's disease.
I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, chronic migraine syndrome, depression, and insomnia.
I have been diagnosed with Lyme's disease, PMDD, the MTHFR, that's a lot of letters, liver defect, and a bunch of other symptoms that are undiagnosed and we're still trying to figure out.
I still don't have a diagnosis for my chronic pain after almost 6 years.
What I really want to tell people is that it's called chronic illness for a reason. For the majority of us, there is no cure.
Chronic illness is probably the hardest thing someone will go through in their life. And we don't give ourselves enough praise for waking up in the morning and living our life.
I want people to know about my condition is that I am taking steps to remedy it with therapy, medication, partial hospitalization, so on and so forth. But that recovery will come in its own time, so patience is key.
What I'd like people to know about my disease is that it's variable. You have good days and you have bad days.
You see so many doctors and you just feel like none of them have the answers. And sometimes it can get a little nerve-wracking. It's stressful.
If you're struggling to get diagnosed right now and you're having the people in your life tell you that you're weak or that you're crazy or that it's nothing to worry about, don't listen to them. It's not their body, it's yours. You have to fight for it.
So regardless of what people say, you should put yourself first above anything else. Your mental and physical health are the most important things in the whole world.
I've actually been criticized a lot because I take a lot of naps and sometimes I can't leave my bed. Sometimes I'm too in pain to leave my bed, and a lot of people lose their patience over that.
People with chronic fatigue and other chronic illnesses are not lying or exaggerating, and they're not lazy.
A lot of us would give up a lot to work or go back to school or even just take a shower.
It takes every bit of energy I have, everything that I am, to get up in the morning and to go to work. And we don't know when our flare-ups are going to occur.
By looking at someone, don't assume that they're healthy, because a lot of the time the illnesses are invisible.
Despite my appearance, I'm not healthy, and that I am dealing with this constant pain and this constant fatigue. And no matter how many lifestyle changes I make, it's always going to be there with me.
I have lupus. I've had it for 13 years, and I bet by just looking at me, you think that I'm probably pretty healthy. That's the thing about lupus. It does fall under this category of invisible disease, and it's just this misconception that, you look at us, we look pretty healthy, we look good, and people don't understand there's just so many things going on inside of our bodies.
If you know someone with a chronic illness, is that they're doing the best they can to live a normal life. And the best thing for you to do is just to be as supportive as possible for them.
All I hear all the time is, well, you don't look sick, you're way too young to be sick, you cannot be sick at that age.
In Germany they say that it's not a real disease. Here they think it's a mental thing, and that's why my healthcare doesn't pay any of it. And there's no research, so there's no cure yet.
The pain is real, the pain is valid, and that you really do need to treat your loved ones with a lot of care and a lot of concern, especially in times when they are struggling.
This happens to people of all ages. It is not just old people that have illnesses and disabilities and handicap placards.
It is not just obvious thing.
I know when we are diagnosed with something and they tell us that it's for the rest of our life, it's the scariest thing you'll ever hear. Because how can you possibly be this strong for that long? How can you possibly manage that? And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to be strong all the time.
Try not to blame us or get offended by our fatigue.
It's really important to keep a positive attitude and to really protect your body, because your body is your own and your body is the only thing that you have.
Before you assume someone is lazy or might not want to do something, try to educate yourself and figure out a way to help them.
That I can say to people who know someone who's suffering from a chronic illness is a little understanding goes a really long way.
Been able to find the skinny community on the internet, and through their support I've been able to make it a lot farther than I would have.
The community we're building for ourselves is so very important.
And remember that if you overlook our flaws, to try and spend time with you, no matter how hard it might be, you're special and we love you.
Everyone with chronic illness to know that they're strong and brave and we can do this.
My disease doesn't define me. My accomplishments define me. My 3 children define me. My love of service of others define me. This nasty, ugly autoimmune disease will never be my definition.